I'm Lizzy.
And I'm Izzy, and we need help.
Each week we stumble through a new book, method, or concept that brings us one step closer to being our best self.
Yes, we make fun of ourselves.
And others.
But mostly just ourselves. So here's to not taking self-help quite so seriously.
Hi, everybody. I'm Lizzy.
And I'm Izzy, and welcome to our shit show.
Yes, welcome to our lovely shit show, We Need Help, the podcast. Man, I just decided to hit record because, we have to understand that we're not going to be, I just am having, a meltdown that I'm not perfect today.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I've never been perfect. It's never happened. So I don't know why, today is different for me, but, I'm so irritated that I can't be everything.
Yeah. I'm glad you hit record. I'm really glad you hit record because, you sent me this text. I feel like I'm coming up short, and it just, broke my heart, you're doing fantastic. You're homeschooling. You're taking your daughter almost every weekend to horse shows. You have a huge renovation and a house going on. You're doing this podcast. You take care of everyone. You're fine.
And it's just and this is the perfect book for talking about, manifesting a life that you want. And I've been manifesting since the day I was born.
Yeah, so the topic for our listeners today is manifesting. That's the topic. And then the book we're doing is Manifest by Roxie Carmichael. Is that her?
No, it's Roxie. You keep wanting it to be Carmichael, but it's Nafousi.
Damn it. She's Carmichael's so bad.
I don't know who that is. Is that bad?
Roxie Carmichael is now I don't know who that is. So why don't you tell me? I'm going to look her up, and then in the meantime, what's going on? Why do you feel like you're coming up short? What's happening?
So I for the majority of my life, my 20s, I was always late and not on time. I was just I just believed too much in myself to get anywhere on time. Yeah. But then I chose to be a half an hour early everywhere I went, and I loved it. But I've gotten away from it, and I feel like I'm just never on time. And I also feel like I want to do 27 things in one day, but I can only do a total of 5, at the max. For some reason, it's just, that's all the day wants me to do. So I'm just, I think it's just normal. Don't we all have these meltdowns where we just feel like we can't get any, we're missing the mark?
Yeah. And I think what helps me, and I want to tell you a story because it really helped me. I think we control more than we do.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we fall short because we think we have to control and manage every single thing in order for our life to work out the way we want it to. And that's false. So, tell you a little story. I lost my project that I had ended in August, and then I had 0 work lined up because I had something lined up and then it canceled. So I'm oh shit, I need work. So I started actively, daily, sending out CVs, contacting people I know, applying everywhere. And nothing was happening. I was getting rejection after rejection after rejection, and I was trying my utmost, right? I was putting all my energy, all my focus, being positive, everything, trying to, make it happen. And then a job fell out of the sky that it wasn't even in my radar of trying. So yeah. I kind of realized that, I'm just going to focus on how I want to be rather than what I need to do and achieve. And then things come, you know what I'm saying? I think that's from the book too. She said, she talks a lot about that. It's how do you want to be rather than what you want to have? And, anyway, that just makes me think I'm not in control of everything because if I was, all my trying for the 4 months that I was trying daily, something would have come out of that. 0 came out of that. So I think it's about kind of trusting the universe a little bit and just doing the best you can on a daily
Yeah.
basis.
Yeah. It's just, I feel like with like, and I'm sure other homeschooling moms feel like this, other moms that have like kids in like a really pretty arduous sport. Like I have to line things up all the time.
Yeah.
And this renovation is like another like example of that. Like I have to be staring down the barrel of the gun for 4 months from now, right?
Yeah.
Like, didn't you feel like that? So I feel like all this plan, like I do have to plan so much for these things to come together at the end. And you're right, like I don't have control over all of it. And I have to understand that like it's not going to always, I'm gonna, like you said this morning in the text, you said, you know, you're doing great. You just need to fall forward because you're gonna fail. You're gonna like, there's gonna be that. But man, it sometimes feels like, I mean, I am running uphill a lot and tripping up the stairs and getting my shins pretty hard, you know?
Yeah. And I'm sure like a lot of moms feel that way too. Plus renovations, like you have the most stressful thing in the world happening.
I know. I'm surprised Jason hasn't killed me. Honestly, you guys, like, I'm just gonna put this out there. If I come up missing, it's him. And more importantly, don't look for me because I fucking deserved it.
Oh man. Like what, why would he kill you?
Because
What
I'm
are you
so
doing?
particular about things that I want. But
Yeah.
you know what? We're gonna talk about this book, and it's like I'm supposed to be this way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Wait,
yeah.
Roxie Carmichael, can I just go
Yeah,
back to
who's
tell you who
Roxie
that is?
Carmichael?
There's a movie, 1990, Welcome Home, Roxie Carmichael. Winona Ryder comes home. Kind of gothy. She comes home.
Never saw it. I love Winona Ryder, and I love the fact that she just stole. Do you remember that story? She like stole from some like Bergdorf's or something like that.
She shoplifted.
Yeah, like she shoplifted, and like she's still got a pretty like awesome career. Like
I love her. Yeah.
Yeah, I
This
love
Roxie
her.
Carmichael is, I think she's like a movie star that comes home and everyone's preparing for her return or something like that. Oh, no. It's her mom that's supposed to come back, I think, and it's Rox. Anyway, whatever, check it out. It's a movie. It's from the 90s. It's good.
Okay, so let's talk about Roxie Nafousi. She's like, this book was really a game changer. Did you get through it? Because I know, tell us what's going on in your life right now, because it's like big.
Yeah, there's just a lot. I'm doing the largest coaching training project that I've ever done in my life, and it's huge. It's like a huge one. So I've been getting up at like 5:30 in the morning and going to bed at like 10 in the evening because it's like lots of moving parts. It's like very complicated. It's very cool. It's very satisfying because like people are walking away better people. And that's like, I was texting you. I'm like, this is what I want our podcast to be. Like, I want somebody to walk away from interactions with us better people, or like, at least funnier, or at least to have laughed.
Well, I would like
something positive.
remember in the beginning we're like, okay, we don't really like, we don't want anybody to like, we don't want to put that on ourselves. We just want to make people laugh. But like,
Yeah.
it is true. Like, I want to be somebody in general that people walk away a better person for knowing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So to even like put that, like, of course that's what we want, right?
Yeah.
So like, guys, become better people after hearing this podcast, okay?
Yeah, please do.
Jeez, just do us a favor.
Give us some good karma, please, because
Yeah.
I was a real piece of shit a few years ago. So I need some good karma swinging back my way.
We're working from like a pretty big deficit right now.
Yeah. I'm like in a karma fucking deficit. I need to.
I'm like even Steven. Like,
Yeah.
been good, been bad, you know?
Yeah, it's Roxie Carmichael, Roxie Nafousi. I know, Roxie Nafousi. I like some of the stuff in the book. I like how it's practical and action focused.
Yeah.
I couldn't get on board with her though. I don't know why. I think it's because feel like people come from like trailer parks like you, or like, I don't know. I'm not going to blame her though for coming from privilege, but there was something about her that I just couldn't get on board with, and I don't know what it is. It's that little feeling inside me that
It's
couldn't
like
get all the way
when
on board
somebody
with her.
who says that they're recovering, but they really never like,
I hate those people. Those are the worst
yeah,
people in the
like they
world.
didn't
People who
lose
ride the
everything.
recovery train. Like, shut up. Like, shut
It's
up. You
like
did not.
Grace Adler in Will and Grace that she started to go to AA meetings because she wanted like the coffee and the donuts and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So,
But
something was not completely authentic, and something was a little too. I read this quote the other day. It was service over selfies or something like that. It kind of struck home. Like, there's some people who are just. I love a good picture of myself, but I'm not snapping them all day long. And there's something about that that kind of makes me like, ugh, I don't know. I don't know. Something about her I didn't like. So,
let's just work this fucking out right now.
yeah.
Okay, do you think she was virtuous signaling?
Virtuous signaling. Okay. See, here's
Was
the
that
sign
what she
from the
was
universe
doing?
because I have that written down in my notes.
Oh, well, of course, we're connected like no other. I
Yeah.
mean, no offense,
Like
Jason.
she's like,
And
I'm a good
like,
person. Good people don't keep saying that they're good people.
well, I don't like even saying like someone's good or bad. Like we're all kind of
Right.
blended with good and bad. Like what did we just talk
Yeah.
about? Like you're karma deficient
Right. I'm
and
a piece of
I'm
shit.
like, like we're all like an asshole. You're an asshole. They said that in awareness. That guy,
Yeah,
that he was an,
Anthony DeMello. I'm an ass,
yeah.
you're an ass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like let's just all be at like try. Let's all these assholes, you, me, everybody. Let's just try to be nicer assholes.
Yeah, like bleached assholes. It's all
Come
coming
on.
together.
Hello.
Let's all be the bleached asshole.
Yeah. Let's all just like calm our assholes down,
Let's be the
okay?
waxed, bleached asshole.
Yeah, the well-trimmed asshole. Okay, so I felt differently. I really, and I am coming from some pretty gnarly adversity, I guess, like on paper, but I loved her no nonsense, like, do this, do this, do this, and you will, like, because in the book, it's like, it's obviously about manifesting.
Yeah.
And let's see, did I even write any notes down that are worth a damn?
I've got some.
So it's about manifesting, but I wanted to talk about like I think manifesting the word pisses people off sometimes.
Okay, let's talk about manifesting a little bit and then we'll get into the book because,
Yeah.
yeah, well, like the topic of manifesting, why do you think it pisses people off? Tell me, like, go on about the topic. What are your thoughts on it?
I feel like it's like the paleo of the spiritual world. Like people are just like saying that word so much. It's an active dreaming is what it is. Like, but it really starts to annoy people because it feels like a pillow that's being humped all day long. Like, oh, I'm manifesting, I'm manifesting. Oh, that's no way to manifest.
I love your purse. Thanks, I manifested it.
I manifested this necklace. Actually, isn't this necklace beautiful?
Where did you get that? It is insanely beautiful.
I got it from Kay Fisk, my friend. Her name is Kristen. She had them made. These are they're horse brasses. And what horse brasses are, if you look them up, they're like these necklaces that they make horses wear, especially in the olden days. So she has
olden
these
days.
necklaces made out of them, and they have like crystal beads on them, and they're just like phenomenal, aren't they? You got to go on YouTube now and see this necklace. It's like
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
And is that gold on the top of your shirt?
Yes. It's
Okay.
gold, and it has gold here, and it's got gold here on the.
You're fabulous today. Is all
I
I'm saying.
thank you.
You
I
are
needed
not
that.
falling short at all. So, manifesting. I manifested this purse.
I
Like,
manifested this shirt
necklace.
that you like. Yeah.
Yeah. So what are
Yeah,
your,
it's
you said you've been manifesting since the day you were born. Can you tell us more about that?
I spend my days and nights, I would say 50-50 in reality and 50 in dreaming and visualizing what I want. And I always have, to the point I remember being about 10 or 11, and I got into this habit of drawing the houses that I wanted. And I actively remember my house in Chicago. I actively remember my house on the beach in the VI. I actively remember my beach house here in Naples that we just sold. And then this house, I actively remember like just designing these houses over and over and just like paying attention to every single detail. Not to mention my mom always like she's always said that you know, we were extremely poor, but Elizabeth wasn't. She calls me Elizabeth because that's what she named me. But like I was never poor. I never like succumbed to that like idea. I never succumbed to being a bastard. Like, you know, I never, like, a little kid called me a bastard. I was like, no, I'm Irish. What are you talking about? You know, like those labels that are negative and gnarly. Like, I didn't make eye contact with them. And I just always knew I was worthy of whatever I wanted.
Yeah, and she talks about that, like having a clear vision. And I think even from when you were young, you had this clear vision of what you wanted.
Yeah.
And she talks about that being important. And she has like, the book is about like 7 steps to manifesting. And the first is to have this clear vision. So you had this clear vision. You were drawing out the houses that you wanted. It was a very clear vision. I have a story about that. I had a vision group when I lived in London. It was me and 3 other girls, and we put little headers for different things in our lives, like house, family, work, you know, whatever, the categories.
Wait, how old were you?
This was when I was in London, about 7 years ago.
Okay. Okay.
And I wrote all the stuff that I wanted, and it was your vision for the year. And I wrote it all out, and I put it away in a notebook. But we all shared it, and then we all said a prayer.
Okay.
And I put it away in a notebook, and then just got on with my life, and then moved to Poland, and was cleaning out my stuff, and this fell out of the notebook, which I had packed away. And I opened it up, and I read through it, and everything had come to fruition.
Whoa.
Every single thing on there. They weren't like crazy insane things. They were like, I want to go for family. It was like, I want to have big dinners in my house, in my, you know, in my flat, and invite a lot of people and have a big open house. I want to go on a vacation one-on-one with my mom. I had all these things that I wanted for the year, and they had all come true. Like, it was really cool. And I was like, it's important to not only realize what your vision is and, you know, you have it in here, but to voice it, write it, share it.
Right.
You know?
I think I'm going to start a vision group.
Yeah. Cool.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
That's so funny. So I just think that I think I was an active manifester as a child. And then when I got to my teenage years, I kind of went into a scarcity mode. We had a very interesting stepfather at the time, and it was like a big scarcity time, as I recall. And then I kind of slid into parenthood pretty harshly, and I like didn't manifest until I was like 25, 26, and then I started to manifest again.
How did you start again? Like, what was the thing that made you start again?
This random lady, her name is Heidi. I don't know if she was real, you guys. Like, I'm like, seriously, I don't know if she was real. I don't know her last name, nothing. She gave me the 10 CD pack of, I think it was 10, of The Secret.
Yeah.
And it was like the first time that I had really heard anything about that. Like, I mean, it was weird for me, you guys. I like grew up in Central Illinois. I didn't know anything about avocados, sushi,
Friend.
manifesting my dreams. So she gave me this, and my mind was now opened to what I was saying in my mind. I also started writing my story from the time I was a child at that time. So I think that that really like opened up my mind to what my true thoughts were. Like just doing those things and like one after the other. So, I mean, I just started manifesting the hell out of my life at that point.
So, in your opinion, what is manifesting? What is it?
Manifesting is deciding what you want, number one. You have to fucking make a decision. And that's her step one, is to be clear in your vision.
Yeah.
You know, say it out loud and like visualize it. I mean, and really just don't take no for an answer and don't settle
Yeah.
for anything else. And you know, I after reading this book, I have so many more answers for that. She really did a great job. And I think she would be good for like some of these people out there that like have no understanding of what manifesting is at all. You know, there's a lot of pretty shallow people, not saying that she's shallow, but in your opinion, you found her to be a little lacking depth in a way.
Found her be there was something that was slightly inauthentic. I'm not sure what it is, and I think it's something what you said along those lines of the people that kind of ride the addiction. Like I was a cokehead, and they did like coke like 3 times.
Yeah,
You know,
like
it's
you're not a
that.
cokehead
So
because you wanted to get out of a DUI.
it's
The
something
end.
that, and I don't know her, so this is it. Like I had a lot of judgment against Tony Robbins, and then I watched I'm Not Your Guru, and I changed my mind. I wish I could meet her. She doesn't have a Wikipedia page. I don't trust people that are famous that don't have Wikipedia pages because I feel like
I don't
that's
think
something
she's
that
famous. Is she famous?
she's famous enough. She's very well known. If you Google her, she's all over the place. She's famous in London.
Can you stop
I'd
by
love
her
to
house
go.
next time you're
You know what? She's doing like workshops, so I think I'm going to sign up for one in
Would
London.
you really? That would be
Yeah.
so awesome.
I would. I want to meet her, right? Because then I could
Okay.
make a judgment. But
Yeah.
she's talking about manifesting, but and I read a lot of reviews of her book, and I maybe will agree with this, where it's real easy to manifest if you're coming from privilege, if you're coming from wealth. It seems easier to manifest, and so it's almost like it would be more if she came from nothing. Like you should write a book on manifesting. I would
should.
buy your book. I would buy your book. You came from
I
a
should.
trailer park. Your son died.
Yeah.
You should be drunk while living in a trailer park. You should not be where you are in Naples building,
God damn
this
it.
beautiful home. You should
Stop.
write a book on manifesting.
I don't want to be in a trailer park.
That's right. Right. But
You know, I think manifesting is like, I mean, in her defense, I think the reason it is easier because you know it's possible. When you come from privilege, you know it's possible. I, out of my own stupidity, knew it was ignorance, knew it was
Yeah.
possible.
Right.
Maybe that's wisdom turned inside out, but like, you know, I mean, I like to call I was kind of like what's like a joyful, like optimistic idiot.
you have a growth mindset. That's
Yeah.
it. That's it.
It's
It's
just-
basically it. You got it from wherever it came to you. You have a growth mindset.
Yeah.
No matter what
I
happens,
think-
you're like,
Yeah, I think my mom gave it to me. I really do.
Yeah.
Like she just like was telling, like she just assumed I would have everything in the world. Like she just did.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the best thing we can give our children is
Yeah.
like this idea that like everything is possible. And as doors close for them, now we talk about other directions that you're supposed to go. Now we talk about
Yeah.
roads that you can't, like the universe knows more than you do.
Yeah. There's something about when she was talking about her bottom, because I did read it, she was talking about her bottom, and she had just gotten back from Thailand, and she was getting a manicure. And I know everyone's bottoms are different, but I was just like, I just kept rolling my eyes. Like, you just got back from Thailand, you're getting a manicure, and that's your bottom. Like, okay, to each his own. I get it.
Yeah,
But I
talk
just,
to me when you're like laying on a mattress in the middle of the floor surrounded by Budweiser bottles with
yeah,
cigarette
because your
butts in
son
them.
just died. Like,
Yeah.
tell me about that. Tell me
Yeah,
about,
let's
you
talk
know,
about a bottom.
yeah, let's talk about, you know, yeah. So I just, so that, but the book for me, I liked what you said. I like how straightforward it was. I like how action prone it was. I like the 7 steps. The 7 steps are: be clear in your vision. I'm on board with that. Remove fear and doubt. Align your behavior. Overcome tests from the universe. I don't really agree with that. I don't think the universe tests us. I don't think it's all about us.
Well, I think
But
it's
anyway.
easier. That's easier to understand than, I mean, that allows you resiliency.
Yeah, but I think it's very self-centered to think that the universe is testing me. Like, why would the universe isn't all about me. Sometimes the universe needs to do something for somebody else, so you just have to get pushed aside for a second, and that's okay. Like, I don't like the self-centered view of the universe, so I'm just gonna, that's the
Well, and
part I did not agree with.
I believe that we are the universe. So kind of the world does revolve around us, like all of us, like, and we're all connected. And it's like, you know, if you can look at it like this, like she gives the example of like the universe is going to prevent or present you with men that fall short of your dream soulmate. And if you choose to just take good enough, that means you don't want your soulmate enough to, you know, really wait and walk towards that goal. So I think
agree
that's
with
what
that.
she meant.
I agree with
You know
that.
what I
And
mean?
it reminds me of one of my ladies that I coach. She keeps asking the universe for a great guy. But then she's having sex with randos in the bathroom. And I'm like, you're sending the universe mixed signals. Like,
She should actually like manifest a bathroom attendant. I'm just trying to bridge a gap here.
yeah. Yeah. You're starting to segue it. What else has she got? Embrace gratitude without caveats. I like that. Turn envy into inspiration. Love that one. And trust the universe. I like that one. Definitely.
I love it.
Yeah.
She says that everything is, for when it comes to be clear in your vision, everything is created twice. First in the mind, then in reality. And she said Robin Sharma said that. And that I can totally get on board with. Because like I think of all the things that I really wanted and that I'm so glad I got. I totally pictured them in my mind, including Scarlett, including Jason, including anything and everything. The Virgin Islands, when I moved there, like I pictured them so clearly in my mind, and then they came to fruition.
Yeah.
I think that there's something really there, like, you know, but she's all about visualizing and vision boards, which you just brought up and said work,
Yeah.
you
And
know.
a dream map, if you've ever done it, a dream board, which is, it's like a vision board, but it's just pictures. But yeah.
That works.
Yeah. What did you get out of the book? Like, what was because you've been manifesting, you're all about manifesting. Was there something new? Was there something that shifted? Was there something
Jason
else?
and I both listened to it and we loved it.
Yeah.
You know, there was a couple of things, removing fear and doubt. I really, really like you know, there were some things that I thought of in my mind that I like really regretted. And, you know, she gave you the 3 steps of I was doing the best at the time with what I had. She gave you always, you know, always it teaches you a valuable lesson. And we are not the same person as we were then. And just like forgiving yourself and like, because you talked about in the remove fear and doubt that insecurities, limiting beliefs, unworthiness, lack of trust, are all really low vibration like feelings. So you really need to get to like a place of love, joy, forgiveness, inspiration, excitement, because those are all high vibration. Like you're not going to attract anything but shit if you're feeling like shit in that. So I was like, okay, well, I started to like think about that. And then like there's the third step is aligning your behavior. And I was just like, that really like that Jason just started going to the gym. Like randomly. He was like, you know what? I'm just gonna be the person I want to be. And she talks about that. It's so proactive. It's not like manifesting versus the law of attraction. She was talking about like manifesting is very non-passive. It's action. It's moving. It's surrounding yourself with people and places and things that like align with what you want. Where the law of attraction is just saying, you know, your thoughts are really powerful, which I think that's true too. But she would like reminded me that like moving is very important and walking with the people that you want and the places that you want with the surrounded by the things that you really want is important, and it like aligns that with you, you know, cultivating the version of your life that you actually want. I said last year that I wanted nothing but you know, people who were authentic. But it wasn't until the people who were not authentic were no longer in my life that I started attracting authentic people. I mean, that's like I had to get rid of the riffraff and to get, you know, to cultivate what I wanted. And it was like, just, you know, so oftentimes we like, you know, that girl fucking those guys in the bathroom. Like you think you're just getting a quickie in, but what you're really doing is you're just like
telling the universe what you want. Like, and that's it. Here it is.
Yeah.
This is what I'm settling for. Yeah.
It just like the non-settling. And then obviously, I mean, I feel like I'm grateful for so much. So, but there are parts in there that like, she reminds you that like to love the little things, like climbing into your sheets at night and like doing little things like that. A lot of people don't do that. And I think that's going to be good for a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know? And then as far as like envy and inspiration, I naturally, literally, I'm not saying I don't, like jealousy doesn't exist within me. And I don't know if this is just from being poor and not having a lot like to look forward to. So I kind of did this as like a way not to feel like shit all the time. But like, if somebody gets something, I become as happy for them. Like it feels the same emotion way for me as if I got it. And I've just always been like that. It's just like, if you get a new job that you love, I mean, I am celebrating on a level, and my friend Tatiana, if she has a success, it feels like my success. It's just, you know, I think that mindset, and that was turn envy into inspiration. I think you have to adopt a we're all connected mindset for that to really sink in and really feel that like the most. Like what's yours is mine as far as success. Like if you know the person, if you're connected to the person, they're upping your collective vibration by getting, right?
Yeah.
So I thought that was like really, I mean, I think that's really important. And then, I mean, now I'm thinking what I got out of this is I didn't even realize that I got out of it, which was a vision group, starting a vision group.
It works. It really works. So it's cool.
And I'm going to invite, like, have everybody invite, like, their three most powerful, high vibration people into the group and just see how fucking powerful we can make this.
Yeah, it's just it's just one meeting. We just had one meeting. We kind of decided what categories we wanted, and then everyone just shared their vision. We all said a prayer, and then we went our separate ways. It doesn't have to be like this thing, but it is saying it out loud, putting it on paper, putting it out in the universe. Because very often we're like, universe, in our minds, like, tell the universe what you want. Be specific.
Yeah.
So,
What do you think? A friend of mine just posted about God doesn't want to be called the universe. He wants to be called God, Father God. What do you think? I don't think God gives a shit.
God doesn't care. I remember when I first got sober, I was talking to my mentor and I was like trying to figure God out and find God and figure God out. And she goes, Isabella, God knows who he is. He doesn't need your help.
Okay, that's so good.
Yeah. And then I've heard also people say, you don't have to find God. He's not lost.
You're lost.
You're lost. Yeah.
Like, stop. And I really truly believe that God's like the big dog at the dog park, and he's like not worried about being disrespected by being called love or the universe, or like he's beyond that, or she's beyond. Like, she's like that big dog that like all the little dogs are like nipping and being like, don't, like, God's a man, God's a father, God's, this, that, and the other thing, it doesn't matter. I don't think God gives one shit as long as you're nice and loving and inclusive.
Yeah.
So we can call the universe God and God the universe, and God is love.
I don't think God has time to worry about what we're calling him.
Yeah. The devil is in the details, right? It says it. Like, everyone knows that.
Yeah. I think what I got out of this book was, I know you're about to ask me. I got out of it that manifesting isn't about stuff, right? It's about being the person that you want to be, right? And the stuff comes. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, or not, but like, it's more about that. Because I remember thinking really manifesting was about the stuff around. Yeah. And it's not. And she's got a great quote that I get crystal clear on the person you want to be and love that person unconditionally from this very moment. Know that this version of you already exists within you, dormant, but patiently waiting to be brought to life. So bringing the version of myself that I want to be to life, and then the stuff just, rather than focus on the stuff, it's not about the stuff. It's about being the person. It's not about having stuff. It's about being the person that you want to be. So
I want to talk about being materialistic for just a moment.
I gotta go.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Oh, yeah,
sure 15 minutes late.
Oh, no. Okay. Well, sometime I'll tell you about the story about my cousins.
Well, let me hear. I'll give it 3 more minutes and I'll just be late, because I am a person who is confident in being late.
I love you. So my cousins, when I went out, we had this, I was in a paper route and we got paid and everything. And I went out and I bought all this CoverGirl makeup. And my stepsister went and frugally bought all this Wet n Wild makeup. Yeah. And my cousins all shamed me because I wanted the nice stuff. And they called me stuck up and gnarly, and like they were just like nasty about it. And at that very moment, I fucking decided I was never, ever, ever going to settle for cheap makeup or anything else that was cheap.
Yeah.
I just wasn't going to do it.
That you are, and that is, and I don't think it is about the stuff. It is about the Lizzy that does not settle
for cheap makeup.
Yeah.
Not cheap friends, not cheap people, not cheap Like, I just am like, I refuse to have shitty things in my life, whether they're whether they're humans, whether they're sheets, whether they're like, I just don't want it.
Yeah,
But
that's you, and that's fine.
and I love that, and I know you're the same way. So that's why we love each other. And thank you for not cutting off my cousin's story.
Okay, there's some things that are just worth being late for. Your cousin, all your cousin's stories are one of them.
Yeah, I know. There's more.
I love you so much.
Oh my God, I love you. See you
Valentine's
next
Day
Tuesday.
is coming up, and we're doing
Yes.
The Arc of Love, right? Is that the book that we're doing?
By Esther Perel. It's not a book. It's a podcast. And it's on Audible, and you have to listen to it. And you sit in on couples therapies.
Ooh, I've always wanted to do that.
It's so good. It's like almost as good as like seeing couples screw. Like, whoo, yeah.
Have you ever watched a couple screw?
We'll
talk about that.
I think about that a lot, but no.
I always think about that. Like whenever I see people with children, I'm like, they have
How do they
sex.
fuck?
Yeah.
How do they do it? What's their thing? All right, I freaking love you. I'll see you next Tuesday.
I'll see. Do you feel better after
Way better.
recording? Okay.
Way
good.
better.
Me too.
Way better. Okay.
Love
Love
you.
you. Thanks for joining us this week on We Need Help the podcast, the duct tape of self-help.
Please visit our website, weneedhelpthepodcast.com, where you can find links to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, and all the others, so you'll never miss a show.
You'll also find links to the books we've reviewed and our amazing store.
If you enjoy this podcast, go right now, because if you're anything like us, you'll never do it later. Like and share our page and episodes on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or just tell a friend about the show. That would help us out too.
Also, feel free to let us know what you need help with, and we'll try to cover it in a future episode. You can also find us on Instagram at WeNeedHelp_the podcast.
Thank you for listening.